Ultra cyclists take on both 200 and 400 mile courses with significant climbing today on the Ultra Race Report. Well, hello race fans, and welcome back to Ultra Racing Network's coverage of the RAAM Challenge Series from Oceanside, California. Well, in this episode, we rejoin the 400-mile division as they go through the Anza Borrego Desert and circle the Salton Sea. So let's cut to the video and check it out. The 400-mile route follows much of the RAAM course. We caught up with Team Cyclenauts in the town of Ranchita, who were doing a changeover. Many teams use this race as an opportunity to work out the kinks before RAAM.
We're really doing well. We're using this as a training ride for RAAM coming up, and we're just training ourselves, but crew, just to kind of get the understanding of how this whole thing works again.
The Flying Aces were making their first attempt at longer distances as a team. Not being used to changeovers, they took a little extra time to figure things out. But eventually, they finally got back on the road. The route for the 400-mile division is known as one of the toughest in ultra cycling. The riders start by climbing over 6,000 feet in the first 100 miles. Then they drop 4,000 feet in just 12 miles down the glass elevator into the Anza Borrego Desert, where at times, riders will be below sea level in the 100-plus degree heat. Andrej Kajlic was staying strong in his attempt to become RAAM qualified as he pushed his way through the heat.
I just broke through some really heavy arms and some grind, so I'm in a peak. Feeling good for a moment at least.
The temperature kept rising and the riders kept plugging along as they circled the Salton Sea. For the first half of the race, Adam Bickett was leading the pack until he had some issues that required significant downtime. In that time, Shauna Hogan moved up as the lead solo in the 400-mile division.
Pretty good.
You have good training run then?
Yeah, it's really good. Successful so far. But we'll see. We're not done with the heat of the day yet.
The fatigue from fighting the heat and wind all day was taking a toll on many of the racers as they moved into the evening. Although they were doing fine as a group, Team Cyclenauts were also battling the wind. With over 300 miles in, rider 404 Andrej Kajlic was just beginning his climb up the coastal range. Although he seemed positive, he was also questioning his finish.
I'm a little worried about the last 100, but hopefully I'll have enough time. Not as strong as I once was.
After a long day, Shauna also continued as first place solo to battle the course into the evening. She took a moment to discuss the difficulty of this route.
Oh my gosh, this is the hardest 400-mile ride I've ever done.
Wow.
I mean, the heat, it was 104 degrees out there. And the headwind, the heat and the headwind, it's been rough.
At the front of the pack, Team Endurance House was leading the way. After a long and hard day, they were ready to finish. And although tired, they executed a good handoff. Their team looks ready for RAAM. As morning broke in Oceanside, Team Endurance House became the first team to cross the finish line of this grueling course with a time of 25 hours and 23 minutes.
It feels amazing. Really proud of everybody. The crew was awesome, and we couldn't have done it without them for sure. Teammates, pushed each other, encouraged each other, and it was really just all out, just an awesome effort and just a great experience. Definitely recommend anyone who ever thought about even trying something like this, get some friends together and just go for it. It's something truly you won't ever forget. So.
And a grueling course it was, with only 2 solo racers finishing in the 400-mile division. Shauna Hogan came in as the first solo with a time of 28 hours, 42 minutes, and 4 seconds. Adam Bickett had a tough race as he made it over the finish line with a time of 29 hours, 54 minutes, and 4 seconds. And unfortunately, hand cyclist Andrei Kajlich did not make his goal this time. He made it to time station 7 at the 323-mile mark, a little over 24 hours into the race. Folks, it's been a pleasure bringing you coverage of the 2015 RAAM Challenge Oceanside. For the most up-to-date stats and other RAAM challenges across the country, check out the RAAMchallenge.com website. And keep checking back for more coverage on ultraracingnetwork.com. You can also find us on the Facebook and the Twitter.